Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to set up a relational database on RDS. So first we start off by navigating to the RDS database service. First thing here, we go to the database page, create database, and then we'll select MySQL, because that's what we're going to do today. And for templates, we prefer the free one, since this is just a demo after all. Identifier, I guess we will call it RDS demo. Pretty simple, straightforward. Passwords, it's gonna be admin, very easy to remember as well. What else do we need to change here? Pretty much everything looks good. Multi-availability zone deployment, we do not want this since this is just a demo, but this is quite a useful feature for stuff like disaster recovery. Yeah, you use it basically to create a redundancy by splitting your database on multiple availability zones, as obvious from the name. Yeah, but we're not going to use that today. Connectivity looks good. Just not connectivity. No, this looks. Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna make a security group. We are gonna call it RDS Demo Security Group. And this looks good. This looks good. We're just gonna call it RDS Demo again. We do not want automatic backups. This is a very neat feature though. If you're gonna use it in production, you definitely want this enabled, but there's one caveat though. You need to be very careful with the retention time of your backups, otherwise you could easily accumulate a huge storage just of backups, and they will be quite costly to retain this. So definitely be sure to rotate out old and obsolete backups. Anyway, we're not using this today. What else do we have here? Looks good. This probably, if you're using the database in production, you will want to enable deletion protection as well. A very useful feature to protect your database against accidents. Oh, we've got something. We are gonna call it 2 because I am very creative like that. So let's update this as well, just to make sure we won't have any confusion. Alright, now we are setting up our RDS tables. You see this is being created. So let's head over to the second part where we actually deploy an EC2 instance where we're running this database service. Launch instance, yeah. We just want this Amazon Linux AMI. This looks good. Yeah, just leave everything as default. This is what we want to change here. The user data is where we can actually provide commands, and these will be executed at startup, or well, at deployment time, I guess, for an EC2 instance. For these commands, I can go over them quickly. This one, first one. You install HTTP, we install Apache PHP MySQL server, and we update the hosts packet lists, and we enable the auto startup on of Apache, so it will start every time the host starts. Now we started, so we make sure it will start now, because we need it now, and we are not gonna restart it, so we obviously have to enable it as well. Here, this command, we go to this file index.php and we write to it with the echo command, and then we enter this folder and we download with vget connect.php, which is a configuration file used for RDS databases. So let's try see if this works. Oh, we forgot something. It is very likely. Security group. Okay, we need to enable, we need to add a rule here, because we need to be able to get traffic from the SQL service, and this happens on this port, and we will just allow any like this. Here you go. You should not do this in production either. You should actually figure out the security group of this and use the security group as identifier, or alternatively the IP of this instance. But this is a demo, so we can cut some corners. Alright, looks good. We need to select a key pair. Yeah, we have this already created. Yeah, I have this. Let's go. Alright, so now let's see. This is probably still being provisioned. Yeah, initializing. So we cannot connect this yet. So let's take a break. Alright, we are back, and I believe our EC2 instance is ready. Let's give it a check. At least it should be. Usually these don't really take that long, but maybe since we provided some user data commands, it will take a little bit longer. But I think we can continue to the next steps. Next steps is to SSH to the host. Personally, I like to use PuTTY, but you can use whatever you like. And here I select the key pair, which I provided during the configuration time of this EC2 host, because we need this to be able to connect to it. Alright, session open. Yeah. So what we want to do is navigate to this folder right here and make sure, okay, we got the file. You see connect.php, it's the one we fetched with the user data, calling the vget for this file. And this file is where we set up our database connections, so we can reach the database from this EC2 instance, and yeah, and then we will connect to this service through the EC2 instance, which will then connect to the database that's hosted in AWS. What was the name? It was admin, I believe, and admin, very super creative. And this host name is the endpoint of our database, and this we fetch here. Whoops, here we go. Yep, and the database name, it was RDS demo 2, and save the file. Alright, now if we're lucky, it should be working. So let's get the public IP of the EC2 instance that's running the RDS service, the POP service it actually is, that's using the RDS. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it seems there's a problem, probably related to the security group. Yeah, okay. I believe I know the issue. We navigate to the EC2 instance security group here. Launch Wizard 6 it's called. Inbound rules. Let's see if we add a rule that allows for HTTP. If we then will be able to connect, I believe it will solve one of the issues at least. Yeah, see, this is the PAP server running on the Apache that we installed earlier. Apache handle PAP, and if we do this, we will actually attempt to connect to our RDS database. However, another issue here, we need to update the security group Yeah, the security group of the database, because we need to allow the EC2 instance to connect to the database. So what we do is we navigate to this security group and we add another inbound rule here, and it will be on this port because it's default for the MySQL. And the way we wanna identify, we could use the IP of this host, but what I prefer and what AWS usually recommends is using security groups, and we know this host has a security group called LaunchWizard 5. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say SG and then LaunchWizard 5, and what this means is that this rule will allow inbound traffic from any AWS resource with this security group attached, which will only be our EC2 instances. So this is a lot better than IPs, because IPs can change and be volatile. So a security group is probably usually almost always the better way to go. Anyway, we got the rule updated. Let's see what it says. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. Okay, well, the most likely cause for this is, like most issues with web service, is security group related. So I'm going to go through the rules. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, the inbound rule for our RDS database. I think actually this could be wrong. The LaunchWizard 5, wasn't it 6 though? Yeah, it's 6. Okay, so it's probably this will solve it, because I actually used the wrong security group as identifier, so that perfectly makes sense that it will not work. Okay, let's see. Now we updated it with the one that we actually use on our host. So hopefully now it will work. Yes, perfect. Successful connected to MySQL using the username admin and the password admin and the endpoint of the relational database service. So this is it. Thanks for today. Hope you enjoyed it and learned a little bit. See ya.